Hi there, Serial Trader here. Let's have a look at weed. And today's price action has certainly changed a few things. And actually, I think it's added some clarity from where we were as of yesterday, for instance. So, just to give the overall kind of context of where I think we're at, just given the price action that's unfolded thus far, I think this triangle, this large degree triangle we had back here, is actually better counted as just a different type of correction. Maybe just a simple combination with a truncated final wave here that failed to make a new low below this wave. But I won't worry about labeling that for now. That's other than for an academic kind of Elliott wave purist purpose. There's no need to label this at this point. But just to say that we're working off of this as our low for this current wave count. So the low back there at 2388. Yeah, that's where we're starting from. So 1 up, 2 down, 3 up, 4 down, 5 up for a larger one. So 5 minor waves up for intermediate wave 1. Then ABC down, okay, minor wave ABC down for intermediate wave 2. And now we're in clearly a third wave, very strong, very trending, but 1 up, deep 2, almost 100% retracement, but not quite. So 1, 2, and now we put in what looks like the third wave, and within that third wave, 1, 2. So I'll go in a little closer here, and maybe it'll be best displayed with bars, and maybe the 4-hour chart for this section. So okay, so from there, from that bottom there at 3181. 1 up, 2 down, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3, okay? And then, okay, so wave 3 subdivided nicely into its own 5-wave structure. It was the extended wave. And now it looks like a potential WXY, so a double zigzag down for wave 4 as of today's price action. And then under this interpretation, we should, either a bottom today or bottom soon, and come up in minor wave 5 of intermediate wave 3, okay? So still implying further upside once this pullback that we just really solidified today finds support and reverses. Now I'm going to go in on the 1-hour chart here to focus on the shorter term price action. And what I have here, so from our top, which currently is labeled as minor wave 3, I'd say it best labels now as a ABC down for W. So a 3-wave decline for wave W, and then a 3-wave advance for wave X, and then now a 3-wave ABC down for wave Y. And the point at which wave W and wave Y are equal in length, as measured off of the termination point wave X, was 58.76. So far we've gone as low as 56.90, so stabbing a little bit below that equality relationship. But you see we're still very much contained within this parallel corrective price channel. The 1-6-1-8 relationship, which would be seemingly a little deep at this point, would be 51.70. And then back to the 4-hour chart, doing a fib pull. So from the minor wave 2 extreme to the minor wave 3 peak, I did a fib pull, and the 382 retracement comes in at 58.24. So again, we've just kind of poked through that. We've gone as low as 56.90. And then the 50% retracement would come in at 53.23. That would also line up with quite nicely with the previous 4th wave of 1 lesser degree. So minute wave 4 came in at 53.13. So that would be a pretty nice area of support to look to. Now, just going on the hourly chart here. What has my attention is obviously the overall structure looks good. I know yesterday, or as of yesterday, I was working that maybe we had a triangle waveform progress, and also the degree of the waveform progress was a little bit lower, but now given this, I've bumped up the degrees, changed the label a little bit, but the message is still roughly the same. Once we finish this current corrective move, it should lead to a nice advance, which once complete will lead to another large corrective move. But let's look at it one structure at a time. So anyways, right now, hourly RSI is looking nice and oversold. It's at 21 now as of today's close. So 21 on hourly RSI, considering that we're in an overall strong uptrend. That's quite a nice, attractive kind of entry setup for a bull side trade at this point. And I believe from the all-time high right here, so minor wave 3's high, which was 74.45, to our current low as of today at 56.90, we've declined well over 20%. I think it's around 23%. So we've declined quite a bit from the all-time high, percentage-wise. I do like the corrective structure. I do like that October is still approaching, so I'm sure there'll be announcements and potential deals and hype leading up to October. Still, even though we got a little ahead of ourselves, technically, I do still think there will be some kind of a bullish headline risk heading into that period. And just overall, this structure from our latest corrective bottom here at 3180 still looks incomplete. Looks like we need more subdivisions to the upside before we can really put in this intermediate wave 3. So I think this has offered some clarity. I think a short term, as of yesterday, I was actually looking for this triangle to resolve to the upside. If it, now that it's proven it wasn't a triangle, that's not the case anymore. But I was looking for a triangle to form, have it resolved to the upside, and then maybe look for a bearish position. But at this point, now we just have a simple 3-wave decline, double zigzag down. Now I'm actually quite interested in a bullish side trade setup. So I entered not a full position because in the past when I've tried to catch these bottom pivots, sometimes I've definitely nailed them, but other times they dig a little deeper, and you have to feel some short-term pain during that. So knowing that, I've definitely entered a decent-sized position as of today, near the end of the day, but not a full position. So I got lots of firepower ready to go, to average into a position here. So at this point, for a long stock position, I can't really offer a stop loss level. All I can say is, we're looking for at least a good bounce, being in these short-term oversold conditions. And then, if we get a nice 5 up off the bottom, then we can, put that stop in place at that point. But right now, I'm just trying to average into a bullish position, knowing that we're oversold and knowing that we have a nice corrective 3-wave structure to the downside that once complete should be more than fully retraced. And I would imagine, before October, we should, before the October 17th date, that kind of psychological date that everyone's thinking about, we should have another run up shorter term before that, I would think. There was literally nothing to this decline. So we went down, almost 14% today on a closing basis. At one point it was higher than that. And there's really no significant news to speak of. So this was purely a technical decline, which isn't surprising because we were in extreme overbought conditions there for a while on the daily. Now we've worked those off. So I like a little bit of this, the equality relationship. It's not always a perfect thing that you react off of, but I like that we've hit that. I like that we've hit the 382 retracement, of this minor wave 3 off of minor wave 2. I like that we're in this channel. Definitely like the oversold hourly RSI. So also on CGC, I've entered some call positions, October monthlies, 40 strike on CGC. And you can see CGC. It's not. I don't have it labeled here with Elliott wave labels, but very much the exact same 3-wave decline pattern. And then if you look at CGC's hourly RSI, same idea. We're at 21 on that as well, identical. So yeah, I went with 40 strike calls, looking to catch a nice pivot here. But I'll just put that to the side there. Focus on weed since it's labeled. So yeah, definitely just thought to give a heads up. Looks like a good time to be building a long position. Looking to catch another pivot and another impulse wave to the upside for what I'm tentatively labeling as what will be a minor wave 5, okay, of intermediate wave 3. And then at that point, this overall daily structure that we have from this 1-2 will count nicely as completed, and then we'll be looking for potentially a larger intermediate wave 4. Maybe that'll, timing wise, hard to say exactly how this plays out, but maybe intermediate wave 4 won't really get going to the downside until we pass that kind of psychological legalization date in October. But we'll see. That's just kind of a theory at this point. No reason to believe it's going to happen like that, but just toying with it. Anyway, hopefully you can do something with that. I know I'm certainly in and looking to get in more here. I expect, even if this is totally wrong and we're just doing some sort of crazy impulsive move to the downside, which I don't foresee, but if that's the case, even so, under these hourly oversold conditions, we should at least get a reasonable size bounce. And then depending on how the bounce develops, I can certainly reassess at that point and maybe just get out early and just take some quick profits, depending on how it develops. And then maybe, again, look to get in at a lower price, perhaps. All right. Certainly do an update tomorrow after the close or on the weekend, as I'm sure tomorrow will lead to some more clarity as to what's going on. But yeah, definitely liking the corrective look of this off the top. Liking a bullish setup. All right, good for now. Serial Trader signing off.